All right, let's jump right in. We're about to tackle one of the coolest, most useful tenses in European Portuguese. Seriously, if you stick with me, you're going to walk away with what feels like a language superpower. So, how would you say this? When I grow up, I want to be a doctor. Seems pretty simple, right? But to get this just right in Portuguese, you need a special tool. And that's exactly what we're going to master today. That's right, the answer uses something called the future subjunctive. And I know, the name sounds a little scary, right? Futuro do Conjuntivo. But trust me, by the end of this, you're going to see it's actually way, way simpler than it sounds. Okay, so here's how we're going to do it. First, we'll figure out what this thing even is. Then I'll show you a rule that has 0 exceptions. Yep, 0. After that, we'll look at the signal words that tell you when to use it. And finally, we'll put it all together. Let's get started. All right, part 1. What is the future subjunctive? Think of it as the tense for future possibilities. Okay, so here's the big idea. This tense isn't for stuff you know is going to happen. It's not about certainties. Instead, it's all about possibilities, potential or hypothetical things that might happen in the future. You know, the if this happens, then that will happen kind of situations. Check out this example. Se perguntarmos a polícia, ele indica-nos o caminho. The key word here is se, if. If we ask a police officer, see? It's not a done deal. We might not. And because it's a future possibility, that's our cue. The verb to ask becomes perguntarmos. Okay, get ready for my favorite part. And I'm not kidding. This is the best thing about this tense. There is one simple rule to form it, and it works every single time. No exceptions. Regular verbs, irregular verbs, it doesn't matter. It's this simple. First, you grab the third-person plural of the simple past, the Elis or Ellis form. Then, step 2, you just drop the final A. That's it. What's left is your magic stem for the entire tense. Let's put this rule to the test with some really tricky irregular verbs. Take ir, to go, or ser, to be. In the past, they both become foram. Chop off the am, and boom, you've got for. Or trazer, to bring. That's trouxeram. Drop the am, you get trouxer. See? It's like magic. It just works. So once you have that stem, building the rest is a piece of cake. You just tack on these endings. And what's cool is, for eu and eli el ela, the form is just the stem itself. For the others, you add these super predictable endings. It's incredibly consistent. All right, so now we know what it is and how to build it. The next big question is, when do you actually use it? Well, there's a trick to that too. You just have to look for a few key signal words. Think of these words as little flashing lights. As soon as you see one and you know you're talking about the future, a little bell should go off in your brain that says, hey, future subjunctive coming up. And here they are, your signal words. The big ones are cuando, when, si, if, and assim que, as soon as. But you've also got en cuanto, siempre que, all of these. The rule is simple. If you use one of these words to talk about something in the future, the verb that comes next has to be in the future subjunctive. They're a team. Okay, time to put it all together. We know what it is, how to make it, and when to use it. So let's see this thing in the wild. Check this out. Assim que chegarem ao aeroporto, telefonem-me. Our signal word, assim que, as soon as. It points to a future event, arriving at the airport. Because of that signal, chegar turns into chegarem. As soon as you arrive, call me. And here's another one. Enquanto estiveres com febre, não podes sair. The signal word is enquanto, while or as long as. It sets up a condition in the future, as long as you have a fever. And that's why estar becomes estiveres. And look at that, we're back where we started. Quando for grande, quero ser médico. Remember this one? The signal word is quando, when. It's talking about a future time. So the verb ser, to be, for I becomes for. When I am grown up. Perfect! This is where it gets really cool, because you can see how this tense adds so much precision. Instead of a vague chegando a Lisboa, arriving in Lisbon, you get the much clearer quando chegar a Lisboa, when I arrive. It's not just having time, it's assim que tivermos tempo, as soon as we have time. See how much sharper that is? And the same goes for using se, which means if. A general statement like pondo os óculos, vês melhor, Putting on glasses, you see better, becomes a specific condition. Se puseres os óculos. If you put on your glasses. It creates that hypothetical future situation, and that is exactly what the future subjunctive is for. So, what's the big takeaway here? It really just comes down to two things. First, get really good at spotting those signal words. And second, just burn that one amazing formation rule into your brain. The LS form from the past, drop the M. That's your key. Look, getting this down isn't just about grammar points. It's a game changer. It unlocks a whole new level of speaking, where you can talk about the future, about plans, possibilities, conditions, with so much more accuracy. You'll just sound more natural. So now that you have this key, what are you going to go out and say?